Do we all have a phase where we want to be like Guthrie Govan and be proficient in every single guitar skill and every single music genre? Or was that just me? I still remember being a teenager and hearing Guthrie Govan for the first time and be like, this dude is a pretty cool guitar player. And then reaching deeper into some of his older videos and deeper catalog and figure out that Guthrie is probably the world's best guitar player. And yeah, I know that's subjective, but let's be honest. If we had to send one guitar player to defend the entirety of Earth against like an alien invasion, Guthrie would probably be our best choice. But you can always let me know in the comments how wrong I am. And like I mentioned before, of all the very things that make Guthrie amazing, being proficient with every single technique, like I do mean every single technique. He can play slap, he can play slide, he does these like pedal steel bends and weird Marty Friedman bends. He's also great at the tech side of things and figuring out new songs. And I've certainly learned a lot from Guthrie, including learning a bunch of different techniques. I did think to myself, I'll practice every single technique, I'll be proficient at all the techniques and be an amazing guitar player. But as you mature as a musician, there are just some things that aren't quite your thing, whether it has to be with the tone of a specific technique. Like I really like techniques that give me a more percussive and defined sound. Like if there's an arpeggio to play, I'm much more likely to play that arpeggio all picked, whether that's with sweep picking or even maybe alternate picking. I can do techniques like legato, but it's just not my thing, it's not my sort of a sound. But I like to explore these different techniques because sometimes it's kind of required to not only play specific stuff, like some licks are just kind of tortuous to play all alternate picking if you don't add some hammer-ons and pull-offs here and there. So I do end up using legato at least to some extent, but when it comes to tapping, it was just never my thing. I know Guthrie likes to do those arpeggios where you do them with octaves, but compared to the sound of doing it all picked, I always just preferred the second one. But I always had this innate feeling of, who knows, maybe I'll do a song where it fits the vibe and I'll actually do some tapping. And even though it took a while, it did happen when it came to my latest release song, Undefeated Prince, which if you haven't, you can and should go check out anywhere to listen to your music at. There's this like pseudo breakdown-ish rich section near the end of the song where I'm doing these arpeggios within an odd time signature. And at first I was just going to solo over them like I usually do, but as I was trying to figure out ideas, it just didn't really fit the vibe to just do a regular solo. Not only because it was over an odd time signature, and solos over odd time signatures, at least in my opinion, have to be done over some sort of melodic chord progression, because otherwise it just becomes too chaotic. But since it was also a section that was supposed to be slow and then build up into something neat, I thought maybe I could just do a riff over it. So I then looked at those chords and figured out some arpeggios to it. And since those chords are pretty close by, the arpeggios are also pretty close by. And as we moved through the chords, I kind of wanted to keep those same shapes around, which made it so that, as most guitar players know, when you're in the studio and you do something and it sounds cool, you just keep it in. But then when you actually have to figure out how to play it live, it becomes a little bit of a struggle. But I kind of figured out my way around these stretches. When we get to a later section, when we have this like F sharp 11 chord, when we have this G11 chord, I kind of just have to be mentally prepared to go from some of these smaller shapes to some of these bigger shapes. And even in the recording, I think I could probably play it better, but hey, I don't really play tapping all the time, and this is just one of many songs, so I think I can afford myself to be a little bit sloppy. Oh, and in the context of the song, it sounds something like this. Are you one of those guitar players that really focuses on technique and really likes to get everything down, and is tapping something that you focus on a lot? Or are you more like me and you like the more defined and percussive techniques? Let me know. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on all the notifications, follow and stay tuned for more, because I'm releasing new songs every week, and I'm releasing new videos every day, twice a day, about said songs. If you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other ones too. And perhaps even share them with a friend who might also enjoy them. In case it wasn't obvious already, go check out my latest release song, Undefeated Prince, anywhere you listen to your music at. And I want to once again thank all of you guys for the support on these songs and videos. It really has been amazing, and I can only thank you guys so much, but it really means a lot and it really makes a difference. I can only hope to see you in another video, but until then, cheers!